Okay, when my soccer game is at 7 p.m., I usually try and start getting ready at 6, gearing up and warming up and stretching and all that poop. Who's me? Who's me? I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. My basement is starting to look like a mini version of Kevin's arcade. It is crammed full and chaotic. So the goal is to continue working on this Iron Maiden so that I can put it in its home right here. And what I need to do in order to make that happen is basically just rebuild the flippers. I can, inspect whatever other mechs need tweaking or love, like pop bumpers. I can, clean the switches. I still have a few things I want to clean. Like I noticed in my editing that decal there is pretty dirty, so I can clean or change it entirely. Go over the drop targets, check them out, and just other like little miscellaneous things like that. No biggie, but flippers is the big thing. If I can get them rebuilt, then I can like jack up the back a little bit and do some play testing right here just to kind of dial it in case there's anything major where I need to pop the hood. Highly doubt it, but it's much easier to pop the hood in this spot. I can lift the playfield all the way to the back. Once it goes into its spot here, then I cannot do that, and I just have to hang the playfield on one of my little playfield hooks so I can get it up high, but not as accessible as it is right now. So if there are any issues that pop up, I'd like to address it here and now. So that's the plan. So time to go under the hood. Okay, I'm not going to show you, but I did clean all these stand-up targets, the spinner, the back decal, with rubbing alcohol, and rubbed over some of the rubbers just for good measure. Usually when I put on white rubbers, the film from the rubber tracks onto the balls, and then the balls start looking all funky. So I find if I clean the rubbers, even, new ones, that helps with that effect. Anyway, so on to flipper number 1, and look what I have found. We're missing a screw. Did you watch the first video? If so, you remember this. Guess what? I found where it belongs. It is sheared off. I don't know if I can show you this. Right in the bracket. So I need to remove the whole bracket pretty much, the flipper bat and all, in order to get that screw out. You can see that. Yeah, so I found it. That's where that one belongs. Okay, this is turning out to be some major surgery. These are the 2 screws for the rest bar, because the rest bar is in the way of the screws to get to this coil stop, which is definitely had its day. And here's the one good screw, which means that I found where the lock washer belongs now. So we have discovered this guy and this guy where they belong. And the plunger and link, as you can see, that hole is pretty well worn. Like, that bushing should be in there pretty snuggish, but and then the end, beat to hell. It's the spring washer and the other bits and pieces. These are the screws for the flipper plate. Here's the flipper bat. Like I said, full on friggin' surgery so I can access here. See what I mean? This is in the way, so I had to move that over. And cleaning everything up. And here's my strategy for removing the screw. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that one-handed, but I did test it. And it is turning. So yeah, I just don't see a world in which I can unscrew this one-handed. just don't have, no, that ain't gonna work. So anyway, yep, fighting with this flipper mech, and you know, at this rate it'll take me 4 hours, which I don't have enough time for before soccer tonight, so I better get cracking. Okay, I'm near the finish line for flipper number 1. It's been like a half an hour. It's been some high drama. This is always something. So for starters, there's my tap kit. So the hole for the screw needed to be retapped because it was funky. So I did that. That was okay. And obviously I replaced the coil sleeve. I replaced the link and plunger initially with this guy here. You know, here's the original one. There's the new one. And this is more of a Bally Williams one. Doesn't have the little nub that sticks out, but who cares, right? I line that up. Looks pretty darn close in length, doesn't it? Well, stay tuned. So I put in a new coil sleeve, and see how it's just peeking out there? That's because with the other plunger and link, the link was actually banging into the coil sleeve, and I was getting a thud, not a nice little clank. So I actually filed off a little bit of the length there, maybe a 1/16 of an inch, only to find out that I was still getting a thud. So I'm like, there must be a friggin' difference in the plunger length. So I went digging into my flipper parts bin. Got shit everywhere as usual. And look what I found. Data East Stern plunger links. Apparently I paid $8 each for these bad boys. And if you compare ever so slightly, that's lined up pretty good. You can see there is a tiniest smidge of extra length. It's subtle, but it's there. Maybe it's just that 1/16 that I needed. So I put in one of these bad boys, and lo and behold, I got my kerplunk. So I remember to put in my spring washer the first time. I've had this coil stop on and off like 3 or 4 times now. But bottom line, flipper number 1 is all cleaned up. It's done. It's got new plunger link, new sleeve, new coil stop. I think I even went new screws, and I saved the old lock washers. I cleaned the end stroke switch, cleaned the rubber stop, cleaned the inside of the bushing since I had this one completely out, removed the old piece of screw, which is there. Here's the file I used to file down the coil sleeve. I went initially with this style, but it fit in just a little tighter, so I went with this style instead, which I think these must just be a little bit thinner, because it fit in better that way. So you know, it's a lot of finagling, but you know, now that I've done it once, I kind of know, don't use this, and don't use these, and I don't have to friggin' remove the entire mech on the next one. The bottom 2 will get the full treatment. Upper flippers may or may not get a full treatment. Look at the size of this coil. Holy crap, why is that so thick? It's like the thickness of the whole stop. Compared to the flipper coils, the lower flipper coils, look at that, they're skinnier. So that's interesting. Why the heck is this one so huge, man? Anyway, I need to find one of these little pieces that's broken off to put on that guy there. And I think it's, oh, what time is it? I probably have half an hour before I have to start getting ready for soccer. So I think I might, so I've been in every drawer, man, and I'm gonna have to dig in here. I bet you I have one of those pieces in here somewhere. I don't have a new one. I don't really need a new one. I just need a good used one, but I'm pretty sure I have one in here somewhere. That's just why I don't throw away parts. Sometimes you just need something like this. So this might be the part. This one looks pretty wore out, so I don't think I'll use that. Although, no. Anyway, I'm going to keep digging around and see if I can finish the bottom right flipper before it's soccer time. Okay, I just spent half of my allotted time hunting for this part here. This is the old one. Alright, and so I'm searching around. I'm like, oh, I found one, but this one's like built in. It's riveted right to the thing. You can't unscrew it. So those guys were no good. Then I found this bag. I think it says stern on there. No, it doesn't. But check this out. Almost. That one's riveted right on. This one, I was very hopeful. This is the right kind. But guess what? There's a left and a right side. That is the wrong side. So was led astray yet again. Put these back. Deal with that later. And then I'm literally just going through my bin. I've never been this deep in this bin before. I've never had to. Look, that's all the parts I inspected, one at a time. This is what I had left to go through. I mean, I could have still dug in here a little bit more. But I thought, well, maybe there's a better chance that I have something in this pile. And that's when I stumbled across this bag that said stern. And voila, we've got a lefty and a righty. That's the exact part I need. I was thinking of just swapping this piece over to here, but if this isn't good enough shape, which it may be, I may just swap the whole thing and then I don't need to switch parts, but almost certainly this is going to be newer, so I will probably just swap this piece over to this guy. But yeah, that took me like friggin' 10 hours, so I'm running out of time. Okay, when my soccer game is at 7 p.m., I usually try and start getting ready at 6, gearing up and warming up and stretching and all that poop. Who's me? Who's me? And it is 5:56, so I managed to at least pull off the lower flippers, except for aligning and tightening the flipper bats. So we got new plungers and links, new coil sleeves, new coil stops, and everything cleaned. And I didn't even have to buy a flipper rebuild kit. I did not change the bushings. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. Will I regret it? We'll see. If one snaps off, then it's not that big of a deal to change it out. I did clean inside of both flipper bushings though. And listen, I got my little snap and I didn't have to file off any of the sleeve. This guy snaps. This thing is going to be fast and deadly after a flipper rebuild and a fresh cleaning. It's going to play like it did in 2018. So I got this guy to go. Oh, maybe more windings equals less resistance and less power, or more resistance and less power, and that's the baby flipper? No, ignore all that. That is the normal size flipper. This is the baby flipper. So I'll deal with those next time. I'm averaging about an hour per flipper as usual. But yeah, so a couple coil sleeves, call that maybe $2 each with shipping and all that at most. And we know that I paid $8 each for these, which I happen to have in stock. I have 2 more, so I'm gonna have to reorder some of those. That was clutch having those in stock. That was lucky. And also clutch, coil stop assembly stern revision A. I don't know what revision they're on now, but I bought these, could be years ago. Also the lock washers that go with them, and the screws. So between this, and the sleeves, we got freshly rebuilt flippers. So let's see, maybe 20 bucks each, something like that. 10, 20, yeah, let's call it 25 just to be safe. 20 or 25 bucks each. Anyway, it was cheap to rebuild that way instead of buying a whole flipper kit. But anyway, I got a couple more flippers to go, and look what else I got. My Titan rubbers for Theater of Magic. So stay tuned, there will be an episode coming up soon. But I gotta finish Iron Maiden. I'll be back, finish the next 2 flippers, and then we'll call it an episode, but that won't be till tomorrow. Alright, I'm back in the basement, and before proceeding to the upper flippers, I finally finished the bottom ones, which just involved aligning and tightening them up. And right now, I'm pretty damn happy. They both have the same amount of play, up and down. They're both angled pretty damn good on the way down and on the way up. So I think that should suffice. Hopefully they're tightened well enough so that they don't start drifting on me. But only time will tell on that. So 2 more flippers to go, and then play testing. Okay, upper right flipper is done. Cleaned the end of stroke switch, replaced the plunger and link, replaced the coil stop and coil sleeve, cleaned up as much of the carbon dust as I could, made sure my end of stroke switch opens properly, make sure I got that nice little snap, and everything's all buttoned down. So 1 more flipper to go. That's kind of the before. Everything's pretty nasty. And yep, almost there. This reminds me, I have to check with my own eyeballs how many games were actually played on this Iron Maiden. Ray said around 7,500. And yeah, so this is what stuff looks like after 7,500 plays. Plunger tips are worn out. Coil stops are beat. And the sleeves are in rough shape. The flange broke right off of that one. That was the upper mini flipper. But yeah, look how nasty those guys are. So all those parts are brand spanking new now. So I'm just going to call that basically about $100 worth of parts. $8 each for these guys. Coil stops, I don't even know what they're worth. I'm going to guess 8. Sleeves, maybe a couple bucks. So I'll just round it up. Maybe $80, you know, 80 to 100 with shipping, tax, exchange, UPS fee, FedEx, fuck you, and the butt fee, plus the tax on the fee, and then the fee on the tax. You always got to round up in Canadian dollars. So I'm calling it $100 for a full 4 flipper rebuild action. All right. So let's go over these one last time. Cleaned up all the carbon as much as I could inside the coils and around. Cleaned and adjusted all end of stroke switches, although, like I said, I think they're all pretty redundant on these modern games. So they're all snappy. My dirty fingers got that nice new white link all dirty. And then these guys up here. The nice thing about the lower flippers, I mean the upper flippers, is that, you know, the way I rebuilt them, I didn't actually have to adjust the and tighten the flipper bats. So I never did have to loosen this portion here, just this here, to stick in the new plunger and link. So as long as they're already aligned happily, then they should be good to go. How's the play up and down on these guys? Yeah, seems good. But when you're adjusting single flippers, you don't have to worry about symmetry so much, unless you got matching flippers like so. When you need good symmetry, especially when you have OCD. You just need them to be aligned nicely. Oh, okay, so let's turn this on, put the Playfield down. I don't advise doing this one-handed, especially when you get caught up in some old cable wires in the ceiling. So one moment. Okay, there we go. So this flipper, so that little hole right there, you line that up to your tip, and that looks good. And then this guy here, you know, it looks like it's a little forward, which could make getting the super jackpot shot over there a little harder, and even the loop. So if I find those two shots ridiculously difficult, then I will set this back just a smidge. Yeah, I'll figure that out in play testing. Okay, so the last thing, or next thing I gotta do is see for myself audits, game audits. Oh, isn't that cute? It's like Hulk. Holy, left slingshots, 86,000 slings, 2018% of games? How does that even make sense? How can you have more than 100%? Wow, some big numbers here. I don't really understand. Drop target number 2 has been knocked down 18,000 times, which is 430% of games. Because you can knock it down multiple times in one game? Is that how that makes sense? What? I don't want game adjustments. No wonder. I'm the wrong thing altogether. Or audits. Okay, here we go. Total plays, 6,654. Okay. Well, I thought it was 7,500, so it's more like 6,500. Doesn't make much difference. It's a very small percentage between 6,500 games and 7,500 games. So anyway, either way, that's pretty cool. So now I think I should actually check those drop targets. I forgot to clean them. Maybe clean and adjust some pop bumper switches, and then fire this bad boy on. Okay, next order of business. Replace these balls that are probably original to the game with some Silver Jet high precision pinballs that are nice and shiny. So you can see the before and after, really. And since there's no magnet in the game, I'm safe to use these and they won't magnetize to each other, hopefully. But I just gotta clean them up with some Novus first, get off any oils, and then play test. Okay, got my new shiny balls installed, and I've got the machine jacked up a little bit so I can have a little bit of pitch for play testing. I have someone coming over to buy an old school original Xbox any minute now, so I gotta kind of pay attention to that. But let's try a quick test here and see what happens. I guess I gotta put it on free play, or at least add a service credit. I get the machine turned down, otherwise, you know, YouTube won't like it. And I can't really reach this with the camera in my face. This is very awkward. But I just want to do a few flips at least, see if anything is out of whack. But this is it, the first play test game. My face is right in the camera, I apologize. Flaky light bulb. Thought I fixed that. Whoa. Oh my god. Freshly. Oh yeah, shaker motor. Nice sensitive sling. These flippers are powerful. It's not pitched up all that much. So, but so far so good. Let's try a skill shot. Oh, I didn't hit the pop first. Could have did the super secret skill shot. Come on now. What's the hold up here? Okay, that's a little bit of mylar that's up there. It's kind of raised up a bit, so I think I'm gonna remove it. And pitch is too slow. Okay, no, the ball did drain. So, flaky light ball. And remove mylar so far. I gotta adjust that plunge. That's supposed to like go around, I believe. But I won't really know until the machine is set up and in place, because that may change where it plunges to, but I think it's supposed to like loop around on the plunge. This thing is violent. But I think I'm at the point where I'm pretty close to, oh, that was nice. Yeah, I think I can throw this guy on legs. I'll probably throw in some new leg levelers. The ones that are on there are a little crusty. The bolts, leg bolts are fine. Oh, did I start a multi-ball? Hey, well, I started a mode. And a multi-ball. Is Aces high multi-ball? Or did I start the regular multi-ball? I don't know for sure. I feel like this is just Aces high. Just activated 2x Playfield scoring. I don't know if there's an add-a-ball or not. Maybe if I hit both ramps. Oh, the middle shot. There we go. How do I have 75 million already? Like, I feel like that's a pretty decent score for just flipping around haphazardly. I guess the 2x Playfield scoring helps. But I feel like I've played this game many a times and fought long and hard for scores a lot less than this. Another multi-ball, okay. Hopefully Buddy hasn't messaged me yet about the Xbox. So yeah, that plunge is garbage. The auto launch, the regular launch. There goes my 2x scoring. Or it's about to go. I have my face like beside the camera. I'm like half leaned over to the right. Great for the back. But I probably should drain out and check my messages. I gotta say, how the heck did I get 125 million just from fudging around? Yeah, this game's gonna be awesome to explore. Okay. I gotta check my messages and then do a couple tweaks and set this guy on legs. Okay, I replaced both bulbs on the left side, and you can see little bits of mylar as well. There was a few areas where dirt was getting under the mylar, so I took my X-Acto knife. There was a spot right here. You can see I cut that out. No more dirt chunks there. And there was a couple spots under this mylar here. That is now happy. And there's a few chunks of dirt back here, which I got and then the spot right at the end there. You can kind of see where I cut that out. So that should help with the ball getting stuck there. Also, I'm going to have the machine pitched up a lot higher. And then I cleaned all the adhesive that was left behind with rubbing alcohol. So yeah, that's just those nice little tiny touches to get rid of those little bits of dirt under the Mylar. Makes me happy. It's the small things in life. All right, I think it's time for legs. All right, it's official. Iron Maiden Pro has joined the lineup, and it looks pretty darn good. I installed the legs, cleaned them up, washed them all down, put on new leg levelers. Let's try and stand back and admire the new row. Soon, this will be replaced with my Guardians of the Galaxy. Then I'm going to have like a new stern section, so that'll be pretty friggin' sweet. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that back on. Let's do this again. But yeah, that's it. It is in the lineup. I've leveled it, cleaned the crap out of both sides of the glass, and it looks nice and shiny. It is a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's it. Just a quick little, two-part series on Iron Maiden. Maybe at some point I'll do a gameplay video. But yeah, pretty stoked to have this in the lineup. Just need me some new Apron cards. And I've got my pin gulp. I'm not really sure. What character is this from? Does anybody know? Could it be like Elvira and the Party Monsters? Or... I'm not really sure. Monster Bash? No, probably not. KF2. But yeah, I'll probably change that out for an actual Iron Maiden one, because I don't think that's Iron Maiden. Anyway, there she be. Time to play the crap out of it. Just when you think everything's hunky-dory, gotta take off the wire form, screw 2 washers, rubber, washer, nut, screw, washer, post, leveler, screw, nut, washer, to get at the rail guide so you can bend it properly so that the ball launches properly, because right now the ball launching directly into this post is just no bueno. So yeah, major surgery. Okay, this was a royal pain in the ass. I literally had to bend this area forward and bend that area backwards, which contorted the whole wire guide, so it made putting it back into place a bit of a pain in the ass. My little nub there scratched my shooter lane up a little smidge right there in the process. It was all torqued and twisted, but I think I got it. Let's see here. Oh, you sorry son of a... No, it was working, I promise. There we go. So it's definitely a pain, and not sure how much more time I want to spend on it. How about with the plunger? Whoa. Oh, I guess that's the ball jumping off that little mini ramp there. Let's have a look at that. Well, oh no, I think this that clacking sound is just the auto launch kicking. So, question, where is my interlock switch? Why do I have solenoid power with the coin door open? Huh? Explain that to me. Thought there should be an interlock switch somewhere. Okay. But you know what? If this works like that, that is golden. I am done messing with that. So I can reassemble now and then be happy. Look how much I torqued this wire guide. That thing is like sideways now. Hopefully when I put on the washer and nut, it doesn't screw things up. Yeah, I really hope that doesn't bend it back out of shape. I may have to put that on loosely. But my shaker motor, this is on my to-do list that I'm building up, it was very loud and violent. So I thought while I'm in here, to have a look. And look what I found. Missing 2 screws. So guess what? I found the last remaining piece of mystery hardware. What do you know? And this probably goes with this, and it shook itself right out. So I'll get some Loctite, find another screw, one appears to be missing entirely, tighten down that shaker motor. I thought it sounded a little loud and violent and obnoxious, so there we go. I will remedy that while I'm in here. There we go. 4 screws holding down the shaker motor, nice and tight, with some Loctite on there. All have lock washers, and all are now happy. And while I'm in here, I should remedy this. That is the worst plunge ever. Alright, all these parts were very filthy. I've cleaned them all up. Found out that there's a red spring in there. It's supposed to be orange. I don't have an orange on me. Red is like the strongest. So I'm thinking maybe Ray stuck that in there at some point to maybe try and help with that ball trajectory. But I think it's just too strong. So I'm putting in a green, which is kind of a happy medium. And then a nice new shiny barrel spring that's not beat to hell. So time to do that. Alright, shaker motor is... Ooh, is that really foggy? Or is that just me? What's going on here? Shaker motor cover's installed. And shooter rod. Hopefully it has enough power. Otherwise I guess I could maybe cut the red spring if needed. But definitely gonna order me an orange spring. Alright, it's not really working very well. Whoa, that was the worst one yet. No, no good. Occasionally it does work fine, but maybe with the proper spring that will help. If I do like a palm smash, that doesn't do anything. Oh, what is going on there? Is it hitting the flipper? Seems like if you don't plunge it full strength, it works. Oh, where'd it go? Oops. Come on. So this is not full strength. Then it makes it where it needs to go, but just not hard enough, so it doesn't go all the way around. Anyway, I think that's about as much as I'm going to mess with it for now. I'm very not happy with it, though. Maybe I'll try and cut that red spring for now. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, and it's probably getting pretty boring, but I put the red spring back in. I didn't cut it. And full plunge. Worked last 3 times in a row. Son of a... What the... I was all excited. I'm all set again. Why is it so dumb? There you go. No. Anyway. I don't know how much more I want to mess with this. Who plunges all the way around anyway? You're always going for a short plunge, or this skill shot, or the secret skill shot. Oh, the balls got stuck up there again. Son of a bitch. Alright, well, I'll get through the to-do list eventually. Anyway, that's it for now. Alright, later. Bye-bye. I hate Iron Man right now. And also Iron Maiden. Alright, I think I'm finally happy. I mean, it's not going to be consistent, but like I said, you don't really like hard plunge on this game, so let's see if it works this time. I put everything back together. Oh my god, that hit the bottom of the flipper. I've been noticing that. Sometimes that happens. Oh, yeah, another dud. Oopsie. Top bumpers are pretty active. I cleaned them. Oh my god, I was trying to drain quick. Nope. Oh my god. Now I gotta start a new game. Try and drain on purpose. Okay, I'll do the full plunge first. No, I hit the flipper. Very annoying. hit the flipper again. Well, I'm going to do 1,000 plunges. The auto launch, though, that's what I was trying to show. Auto launch seems to work okay, which is not bad. If it's going to auto launch, if it auto launches in the loop, that's cool. If you can't plunge the loop, then that's also tolerable. That's horrible. Well, oh, auto launch got me there. Auto launch. I want to plunge. Fine, I'll let you do it. Okay, let's see auto launch again. So that's pretty consistent, so... I spoke too soon. But anyway, that's it. I'm living with that. Try one more manual plunge. I don't imagine changing the spring to orange is going to have much of a difference, but I'll probably do it anyway. There we go. I'm ending on that note. I like Iron Maiden again. Oh, you bastard. But anyway, yep, that's it. I'm done. Alright, I'm back to hating you.